That sound, that horrible grinding clunk, followed by the sudden loss of power. It's the sound of a bad shift, and it's a feeling every cyclist has experienced. It can ruin your momentum, kill your confidence, and turn a beautiful ride into a frustrating struggle. But what if I told you that shifting gears smoothly and perfectly isn't some secret art form reserved for the pros? It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be mastered. Today, we are going deep. This isn't just a quick how-to. This is a complete masterclass on shifting. We'll cover the why, the how, and the what-ifs, so you can become the master of your machine. Let's start with the absolute fundamentals. Think about walking. On a flat sidewalk, you take long, comfortable strides. But when you get to a steep staircase, you shorten your steps, right? You take more steps, but each one is easier. Gears on a bike work in exactly the same way. The gears are your steps. Easy gears are your small steps for climbing stairs, and hard gears are your long strides for the flat sidewalk. The goal is to use your gears to keep your leg effort and your pedaling speed consistent and comfortable, no matter the terrain. Now, let's meet your tools. You have two shifters. The right-hand shifter. This is your primary tool. It controls the rear derailleur, that mechanism that moves your chain across the stack of cogs on your back wheel, called the cassette. These are your fine-tuning gears. Shifting with your right hand makes small, incremental changes in difficulty. This is the shifter you will use 90% of the time. One way to remember this is right for the rear. The left-hand shifter, this controls the front derailleur, which moves the chain across the big rings by your pedals, called the chain rings. Most road bikes have two chain rings, a large one for high speeds, the big ring, and a small one for climbing, the small ring. Shifting with your left hand makes big, dramatic jumps in difficulty. Think of it as switching between climbing mode and speed mode. Understanding the separation is key. The right shifter is for small adjustments. The left shifter is for big changes in terrain. Before we get into specific scenarios, you need to understand 3 golden rules of shifting. Internalize these, and you will eliminate almost all of your shifting problems. Golden rule number 1, anticipate. Don't react. This is the most important rule. You must shift before you need the gear. Do you see a hill coming up? Shift into an easier gear at the bottom of the hill, while the pressure on your pedals is still light. Don't wait until you're halfway up, grinding to a halt, and then try to force a shift. A drivetrain under heavy load does not want to shift. It will protest with loud clunks, and this is the #1 cause of a dropped chain. Always look ahead and think about the gear you will need in the next 10 to 15 seconds. Golden rule number 2, lighten the load. This rule is connected to the first. The chain moves most smoothly when there is minimal pressure on it. Just for the split second that you are pressing the shift lever, you need to slightly ease off the pedal pressure. You don't stop pedaling, you just soften your pedal stroke for a moment. Imagine you're lifting your foot just as slightly as the chain moves. It's a subtle but crucial technique. A hard, mashing pedal stroke during a shift is like trying to change gears in a car without using the clutch. Lighten the load, let the chain move, then reapply the power. Golden rule number 3, master your cadence. Cadence is your pedaling speed, measured in revolutions per minute or RPM. It's the rhythm of your ride. Trying to push a very hard gear at a very low cadence, like 50 to 60 RPM, is inefficient and brutal on your knees. Conversely, spinning an extremely easy gear too fast, like 110 RPM, can make you feel unstable. Most cyclists are most efficient in a cadence range of about 80 to 95 RPM. Your gears are the tool you use to stay in this happy zone. If you're going up a hill and your cadence starts to drop below 80 RPM, shift to an easier gear with your right hand. If you're going down a hill and your legs are spinning out of control, shift to a harder gear. Your cadence is your dashboard. Let it tell you when it's time to shift. Let's apply these principles to real-world riding situations. Scenario 1, shifting on a flat road. This is where you'll find your cruising gear. You should be in your big chain ring, left shifter, and somewhere in the middle of the cassette on the back, Right shifter. Your cadence should feel comfortable, around that 80 to 95 RPM range. If you feel a slight headwind or a gentle rise in the road, you'll make small adjustments with your right shifter to keep your effort and cadence consistent. Scenario 2. Shifting for a climb. Here's a step-by-step approach. You're cruising on the flats in the big ring. You see a hill approaching. Anticipate. Before the road tilts up, while your pedal pressure is still light, shift into your small chain ring with your left shifter. This is your big jump into climbing mode. You'll notice you have to pedal much faster. Adjust. Now that you're in the easier chain ring, use your right shifter to fine-tune your effort as you go up the hill. As the climb gets steeper, click into easier gears on the cassette, the larger cogs, to keep your cadence in that comfortable 80 to 95 RPM range. The summit. As you reach the top of the hill, start shifting into slightly harder gears with your right hand to build momentum. Once the road flattens out and you're ready for speed, make the big jump back to your big chain ring with your left hand, remembering to lighten the pedal pressure for that split second. Scenario 3. Shifting for a descent. As you start going downhill, your legs will start to spin too fast. This is your cue to shift to a harder gear, or a smaller cog, on the back using your right shifter. Continue to shift to harder gears as you pick up speed to maintain control and be able to add power if you need to. Scenario 4. Shifting for an intersection or stoplight. This is a pro tip that beginners often miss. As you're slowing down to a stop, make a few clicks into an easier gear on the back with your right hand. This prepares you for starting again. There is nothing worse than being stuck in a hard gear at a dead stop. Shifting before you stop means you can easily and smoothly accelerate away when the light turns green. Even when you know the rules, things can go wrong. Problem number 1. The dropped chain. Your chain falls off the chain rings, usually on the inside. Why it happens? Almost always, this is caused by shifting the front derailleur while applying too much power. You're halfway up a hill, you panic and try to shift to the small ring while standing on the pedals. The chain is under immense tension, and instead of moving smoothly, it gets forced off the ring. The fix on the road. Don't panic. Pull over safely. If the chain is just off the ring, you can often use your front shifter to guide it back on. If that doesn't work, you'll need to get your hands dirty. Gently pull the chain back up and place it on the small chain ring. Wipe your hands on some grass or have a disposable glove in your saddlebag. The best fix, of course, is prevention. Always lighten the load on your pedals when shifting the front. Problem number 2. Cross-chaining. What it is when your chain is running at an extreme angle. For example, when you're in the big chain ring at the front and the biggest, easiest cog on the back. Or when you're in the small chain ring and the smallest, hardest cog on the back. Look down at your chain. If it looks like it's at a sharp diagonal angle, you're cross-chaining. Why it's bad? It's inefficient, noisy, and it causes premature wear and tear on your chain rings, and cassette. The extreme angle puts a lot of stress on the chain. The fix? Avoid these combinations. If you need an easier gear while in the big ring, instead of shifting all the way to the easiest cog on the back, it's better to shift to your small chain ring at the front and a middle cog on the back. It's a smoother, straighter, and more efficient chain line. Problem number 3. Noisy or hesitant shifting. Your gears are making a lot of noise, or the chain seems to hesitate before it moves. Why it happens? The most common cause is simple cable stretch. Over time, your gear cables stretch slightly, which throws off the derailleur's alignment. The fix? You can often fix this yourself with the barrel adjuster. This is the small round knob where the gear cable enters the derailleur or shifter. Turning it counterclockwise tightens the cable, which usually helps the chain shift to an easier gear. Turning it clockwise loosens the cable, helping it shift to a harder gear. Make small quarter-turn adjustments. If this doesn't work, your derailleur hanger might be bent, and it's time for a quick trip to the bike shop. Once you've mastered the basics, you can start to incorporate some advanced techniques. Shifting while standing is useful for short, punchy climbs. The trick is to time your shift with your pedal stroke. As your dominant foot is coming over the top of the stroke, where there is less pressure, make your shift. It requires precise timing, but allows you to maintain momentum while out of the saddle. Block shifting. Most modern shifters allow you to shift across multiple cogs with one long push of the lever. This is great for when the terrain changes suddenly, like a flat road that abruptly kicks up into a steep hill. You can drop 3 or 4 gears instantly to maintain your cadence. Breathing and shifting. On a long, rhythmic climb, try to sync your shifting with your breathing. As you exhale and your body naturally relaxes for a moment, make your shift. It can help create a smoother, more zen-like climbing experience. Mastering your gears is a journey. It's about moving from a conscious, mechanical process to an intuitive feeling. It's about your bike becoming a seamless extension of your body. These principles and techniques are your roadmap. Start by being mindful. Anticipate the road. Listen to your bike and feel the rhythm of your cadence. Soon, you won't be thinking about shifting at all. You'll just be riding, smoothly and powerfully, enjoying the freedom that only a bicycle can provide. Thank you for joining us on Chavez Cycling. If this masterclass helped you, please give it a like and subscribe for more in-depth guides. What was your biggest aha moment when it came to shifting? Let us know in the comments below. Now get out there and find your perfect gear.